morning, everybody. Welcome to Hex Token channel in the house. And of course, let's get into it. We've got a few comments in the house there. So let's find where we're at the moment. And I've got to find which one I'm on there. Cool. All right, so let's get into it. We got a few people in the house there. We got Check My Pulse. Hey, Superman, good to see you. And good evening, Hexkins, everybody. What else there? Check My Pulse is already in the house with some questions. Should we be worried about the future of Hex stakes on ETH with the merge? Will current ETH be obsolete to carry over to V2? Says Check My Pulse. That should all be fine. Don't expect any issues with that. Pulse Live now said good morning from the UK. Hexkins burning the candles at both ends. Hex token is defo worth it. Hey, Pulse Live and Astro as well with the big hearts. It's a bird. It's a plane. It's Superman. Hey, Wookie, good to see you in the house as well. What else there? Good. Scott Jackson as well. Good morning to you as well. Welcome everybody. Of course, don't forget to subscribe, like, share, hit the bell, all that good stuff. All right, so let's get into it. We got the markets here looking still pretty good. I mean, it's red, but they're actually holding up pretty nicely. We were down at 19,400 just 2 days ago, and here we are at 21,654. So it's not bad at all. ETH at 70.51, not quite as high as I would have expected. Hope maybe we'll get a bit more of a movement in the next couple of days. We have got the stock market opening up tomorrow, of course, for Monday. It'll be Tuesday my time, and BNB holding up at 293 there, not over $300 yet. So still looking okay, still looking good actually, but not as good ETH on the move there. So we'll just keep watching that in the next couple of days. Expecting the merge there coming up around about the 15th. So stay tuned for that. We also got the inflation data coming on the 15th as well. So it's going to be a bit of a fun day on the 15th. All right, let's get into the Hex charts. We got the Hex there at 3.95 cents. Pretty much feels like it's stuck there for the moment, doesn't it? If we look on the data here on the Hex chart, it looks like it's pretty much stuck here the last 2 weeks there. Was that 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15 days. Feels like it's almost been around just stuck there and at the moment on the slightly weaker side at the moment, 3.9. Seems to be holding though. Seems to be holding there at this stage. Let's have a look at Maxi. Of course, we've been talking about Maxi a lot. 2.10 is the premium. So it's eased off a little bit there, but still holding up pretty decent at 2.1. And of course, we've got, we're in day 7 at the moment. So day 7 is going to wrap up in a couple of hours time. That'll be the first week of 3 weeks. Remember, it's 21 days or so, 21 days plus, I guess it is. And of course, we're at about 2.1. So still 2 weeks to go. And of course, we have seen some spectacular results for Maxi. I think the results for Maxi have been very, very good. I think the the perpetuals are doing well, but the the bigger event for those are probably going to be towards the end of the 21 days is my guess. We'll have up and down days. I'll be talking about the results for day 7, the first week on our second live stream in about 5 hours time or so. So you can stay tuned for that. But the premium looking not too bad at all. In fact, I think that the Maxi gone into the team has actually been really, really good, as I say. Let's jump over to some of the results at the moment for the Hex and the Maxi. Kind of see them working together at the moment. So we talked about this big stake yesterday, came out 105 million with a massive APY, 51.9%, 952 days. It was pretty epic. That moved the share rate up dramatically. Of course, we went over 24,000 on the share rate. And of course, they also added liquidity into the pool. After that, we got 4.2 million Hex bought 23 hours ago, then 13.5 million sold for $500,000. I think we did talk about this. Yes, somebody said, Farthead, he says, 63 has 35 million Hex liquid and $500,000 USDC in the wallet now. 7 stakes for 355 million. I think he's got there. Well, let me just get rid of this comment here. That's a good comment, but we're going to move that. 7 stakes for 355 million total Hex. So this is a beastie boy. He has 50 million Hex due January 23, then 50 million in April 23. Big chunks coming out. Yeah, that's a pretty big chunks there. So we'll keep watching that one. Sold a bit there. So that's one of the big juggernauts for sure. 100 million Hex in staked 21 hours ago. We're expecting quite a few stakes, particularly on the 1st of October. And so I imagine most of it's just going to restake. Reward there, 1 million X. And of course, 11% APY. So we'll jump through that. Actually, let's have a quick look at, see, no comments on that one. Then we had 100 million Hex stake for 34 days. So it looks like they're just restaked again. So 34 days seems to be their preference, scraping pretty much 1 million X at a time. And then they just restaked it again. So that's a better one, right? Having it restaked. That's what we like to see. And then, they're either going to scrape it or add the interest, aren't they? So let's have a quick look at this wallet and a deep dive into, have a little deep dive in there. It's currently sitting on 1.8, almost 1.9 million Hex there. Cool. Let's jump out of there and go back into where we were, into the Wildbot. So that's kind of cool. What else there? 35 million 10 hours ago in staked, 10% APY. I got 500,000 Hex there, 54 days. See what that does in due time. Not sure if there's any comment on that one. No, that's it. So that's the Wildbot for you. Let's have a look at the team results. So Hex and Maxi we're looking at here. Let's have a look at these results so far. We'll be doing the update for this for day 7 when it closes in the second live stream. It's later on, about 5 hours time. But at the moment, we have the results at 12.81 million base. In other words, 12.81 million Hex has gone into here. It's a 1-to-1 mint. So you put 1 Hex in, you get 1 base out. You don't lose the Hex. The Hex will get staked, and the base is your ownership token. That shows you a share of the stake that's going to be made. At the moment, 664 T shares. The estimated APY is at 11.93%. The trio, which is a 3-year staking pool, is a 12.58 million trio, or 12.58 million Hex has gone in there. 872 T shares at 15.94%. And of course, the lucky there, 11.79 million has gone into there. And 1,217 T shares, and the APY 23.73. So obviously they would have got less T shares with the share rate bump yesterday. I think that was what, 700 or so, but they're staking longer, so they're still going to get that relatively lower. So that's going to be good. Decimus there is at 49.35 million. Wow, almost at 50 mil. You know what, we've got targets for 150 mil each, approximately 600 million Hex to lock up. And at the moment, it's going into Decky, which is the longest lockup. And until, of course, this gets perpetually staked there. 6,414 T shares. So we're almost at 50 million for Decimus, and we're 29.89 million APY. I still think a lot of the big whales are yet to come. They'll be watching the performance and, of course, thinking about it later on towards the end. So the total there, 86,539,612 Hex gone in there so far. Doing pretty well. Now, obviously, our target for bigger pays better would be 150 mil on each of these. But of course, we're definitely going to get the Decimus favored. And of course, the APY there, 29.89%. If you're playing the short game or long game, it's kind of the obvious play there. So we're up to 9,167 T shares, looking pretty good. Now let's have a look here. The team minting, 31.12 million. This is going terrific. This is going terrific. The stake team, 22.7 million, and the liquid team at the moment, 8.41 million. That's a pretty good staking amount, to be honest, at this stage. So if we go 22.7 divided by 31.12, we're looking at 73% stake. That's pretty good. I think I made a call of 70%, so 73, that's pretty good as well. A team, a contract Maxi breakdown. We've got, obviously, when people put Maxi into the team token, they lose the Maxi. It's not like the perpetuals where you keep the ownership of the Hex. You technically lose the Maxi. You may get some of it back, of course, through the reward pool, but you technically lose that. And of course, in return, you get the team token, the DAO token. This is a one-off token. They're not going to have any others as well. So 31.12 million Maxi. 20% of that is going to end up being burned. And that 6.22 million of Maxi we know is definitely going to be burned and off the market. So 293.3 million is the total supply. And of course, you're going to take that 6.22 million off. It's going to reduce the total amount of Maxi. Now, come out and check out the second live stream later today. We'll be going through all those numbers and updating them with the burn and circulating supply adjustments. The reward pool 369, so 9.34 million Maxi is going into that reward pool. That's effectively off the market as well, because that doesn't get paid out to stakers till the year 3, 6, and 9. And of course, the year 3 is only 1/6 of that amount. So the bulk of the Maxi return is back in year 6 and 9 there. So that's effectively off the market as well. So this is pretty epic. You're talking about close to 15 million. We're talking about over 15 million Maxi that you're not going to see it on the market and for a long time, at least for the Maxi rebate. Now, the Maxi mystery box got 15.56 million. So it's climbing up as well. And of course, we have no expectations of that. But of course, one of the team rewards is not just the Maxi rebate, it's not just the bigger pays better or the Hedron from the perpetuals. It's also mysterious. You may get some mysterious airdrops, and of course, grow as more products grow in the ecosystem. You will benefit from that as well. So that's pretty cool. So that's looking good. Now, they have removed the financial dashboard off here, and I'm not sure why they did that, but they probably got a good reason. Maybe they're updating the numbers or whatever. But we will see what happens with there. Now, jumping over to the Maximus on the blockchain, we can see 293.3 million Maxi is the total supply. We can see that number of wallets is decreasing. It's been decreasing daily. That's to be expected as people put their Maxi into the team. We now got the team wallet at 31.12. Actually, I've got to refresh that. 31,121,000. We can see all the mints that are going on. People minting team, putting Maxi in it. You can see them all here. And obviously, yesterday we had a huge one of our 3 whales. We've had 3 whales so far go in, 3 whales over 1 million going into Maxi. But we'll just stay tuned. If you come back to the second live stream, I'll be going through all those numbers, having a look at who's actually gone in into the Maximus team there. So stay tuned for that. It's going to be a fun Maxi deep dive this afternoon after week 1, right? It's week 1, so we're going to check that out. All right, so that's looking pretty cool. And we also had some news hot off the press here from Maxi here. This is 15 minutes ago. We are announcing something big tonight. So something big tonight coming from Maximus. Who knows what that will be? New products. It will be something about the mystery box. I don't know. Probably not. But probably new product or something. Who knows what it's going to be? We're going to find out. Yeah, it's going to be fun to see. And maybe imagine if they had a partnership as well. They haven't done partnerships. A partnership would be pretty interesting. If they obviously connecting values up, and that would be pretty cool. But who knows? We're announcing something big tonight. We'll find out whatever it is. It will be out. So cool. That's just come off 15 minutes ago. Hot off the press there from the old Maximus Alpha team there. Looking pretty good. So that's kind of where we are at the stage on those. Let's have a quick look over to Hedron. Hedron here at the moment pulled back down to 3,800. Just easing off there. I'm sure that's got a few people they're a little bit concerned, but at the moment still got higher lows. And of course, obviously a lot of people in here still got big extra returns, right? But still got higher lows at the moment. And of course, nothing's changing. We've still got the big event coming up in November, what they call the big fortnight payday event. And of course, where a lot of auctions will be on, thousands of HSI stakes into the auctions on the Hedron liquidations. And of course, massive amount of Hedron burned. And of course, massive ICOSA inflation and payout to ICOSA stakers as well. So that's still coming down the line. And that's going to be like the big payday for Hex in some ways, although it's obviously going to be, ongoing with the HSI buybacks. And so that's pretty cool. Now, HSI buybacks just continue to keep going, eating up the circulating supply of Hex. So it's been performing very well with the HSI buybacks. I continually see large HSIs. In fact, let's have a quick look at some of that now. We're going to have a quick look at the Hedron Whalebot and see what sort of things came up, what sort of things have been happening in there just in a recent wee while. So let's have a look, see whether we can see one there. So there we are, 1 hour ago, 900,000 Hex staked for 5555 1 hour ago through the Hedron Whalebot. I mean, this is the sort of stuff going through. It's really been impressive what's been going through here as well in terms of HSIs. So that's pretty neat. Just trying to go. So many trades going on in Hedron. It's flushes the. There we are. So 11 hours ago, we had 100,000 Hex go through the 555. So you can see that's a million just in those two. And so we're still getting, keep getting HSIs staking through there. There's 400,000 15 hours ago, staked for 4,495 days. So, still just ticking over there. 100,000 15 hours ago for 5,499. 400,000 for 4,130 days. You see what I mean? This is just in the last 24-hour preview, and that's pretty impressive. So scrolling through some of these like Hedron trades, and so on. There we are, 180,000 22 hours ago, 190,000 22 hours ago. You can sort of see it's just ticking over every day, locking away more and more Hex via HSI staking. Very, very cool. So that's some of the highlights there. What else I was going to say about that? I think that was it for the moment. Like I said, we're waiting. It's going to be pretty spectacular in November. That being said, of course, it's 2 months till that time, right? 2 months, and it's a long time in crypto. So we'll be watching that pretty closely at this stage. But we have got slightly higher lows, holding up reasonable at the moment, 3,800, and did kind of hit the bottom expectation that we had for the time being. So we'll see how that goes. And a Akosa at $1.20 at the moment, $1.20 on a Akosa. That's pretty much where we are. So cool. That is all the stuff happening with teams. So we're going to close a lot of that stuff. We've got the Hex daily stats coming up. We're going to have a day 114 coming up pretty soon. So stay tuned for that. We're going to talk briefly about the Hex stakes, but let's jump into some of the rest of the charts. We're going to get onto PulsePot in a second. So stay tuned for that PulsePot there. And I see that David Feder actually reviewed PulsePot there. So we're going to talk about that a little bit there as well. So that was interesting that he commented about that. Now, Pulse Dodge, the original, doing very well. Look at that. Nice little strike back. The strike back. The Empire strikes back. Pulse Dodge strikes back. There's the original one on BNB. And, of course, it's jumped up here to 5,000. So it's looking better. Had a higher lows. Starting to make a push high. Obviously, it would be nice to see it consolidate around 5,500, 6,000. Sorry, let me rephrase that. Over 0.5%, and where it is now, it's at 0.5%. It would be nice to get over 0.6 of a penny. That'd be pretty nice, and just consolidate there. So nice little comeback there from Pulse Dodge at the moment. P33 also making a push higher, and we're down at 8.4 cents 4 days ago. We're now up at a nice bit of power play, up to 11.5 cents. Still early days for this one though, as you can tell. Let's see what else we got. The internet money, see if that's made a move. No, internet money's gone in the wrong direction at the moment, down to 7,600. So not looking too hot there. Still got a very shallow trend there, but very, very weak weakness there. So we'll see how that goes on. Now let's have a look at the airdrops. Now Weight Token's been performing pretty well. Actually hit 1 cent today. Actually hit 1 cent as the old Weight Token. This is one of the airdrops, of course, if you sacrifice for like PulseX, liquid loans, internet money, things like that, you'd qualify for this. And it almost hit 1 cent. Wow. So a really nice big move there, a bit of volume coming in on the old Weight Token. Like I say, there's probably about 70 million, maybe 80 million now that's been minted. And of course, there's probably about 1.2 billion or so that is actually accrued in the total supply. It's still early days for this. Most people are just waiting because the longer you wait, the more Weight Token you earn. That's probably why most people are just waiting there. But hey, nice little push up to 1 cent. That's pretty impressive for something that's just nothing. If you know what I mean, you're just waiting. So cool. Pulse Dodge itself, $3.17. Now we're waiting for the latest news from Pulse Dodge coin. We've had a few teasers and tweets from Pulse Dodge, and I'm sure it's getting closer and closer. And we'll be waiting for that. That's kind of still for me the next big play with that, and I think we might see some possibly an interesting gamification of that too. The RSI is definitely cooled down, 38 down here, so we'll be watching that pretty closely. All right, cool. That is the airdrops, but let's have a look at the wildcards. So these are wildcard projects that the community wanted me to add here. They're also from people that are personalities that are within the Pulse Chain Hex community. So from that point of view, I'm happy to add them. Trying to keep, not too far out of our ecosystems. But at the moment, these is kind of I've got them at the moment. So PZN there finally making the breakout that we're wanting to see. It's not quite fulsome yet, but it's definitely looking pretty good at 0.7 of a penny. That's what I wanted to see. It got as high as 73 hundredths of a cent. So that's actually looking good now. We had higher lows and so forth. Remember, this has like a 2% tax, and it has two other little small percent fractionized taxes on that. And of course, it pays it to the holders pretty much and also has a bit of a burn function in there as well. I think it's like 0.01% or something like that for the burning. So this is early days on this one. There was a bit of drama around this one, but it seems to, taking a life of its own, as does crypto. Crypto does that. So the uptrend looks not too bad at this stage. Once again, I consider these all relatively, they're all speculative, but there's degrees of speculation in these as well. Dodeca making a decent comeback there, 51 cents. We will be watching this over a long period of time, but typically these will spiral down in value. And of course, let's see how it goes. If they can maintain a community of interest, then maybe they can make it last a bit longer. It is buying Hex. If you hold 369 Dodeca, you will get rewarded with Hex as a dividend type of thing. But obviously it depends on the volume of trade going through the value of the Dodeca as well. So there's a few things to think about there. More token, Trayvon's. Trayvon's one there is at $1.22 at the moment, and it's not doing too bad actually, to be honest. I mean, it's not up at the highs of near $1.90 or so, or $2, but it's definitely not doing too bad given the current market conditions. So we'll see how that goes. That's pretty much the wildcards. We're going to get into the Hex Daily Stats coming up soon. We've still got a while to go for that though, because we're not even finished the day yet. It's just the way it goes. But we're going to jump into PulsePot and have a look at that. Before we do that, let's get into the chat and say hello and catch up on who is in the house. What else there? We got John Gibbons. Hey, Superman. Woohoo! Thanks for the extra macro insights. Literally don't need to watch any other channel. Hey, John, appreciate that. We've been covering, macroeconomic insights. Also, been every beginning of every month now, I publish the upcoming major financial indicators because of the fact that we're moving from cheap money to more expensive money. And of course, we see that how that's impacting the rest of the markets as well, from property to stock market, crypto, bond markets, and everything else. It's well worth doing. So I put that out every month. I've got that in my diary to do. Great is 4, says Sandy Beach. Welcome to Sandy Beach, by the way. Great is 4, one of our awesome moderators and community members. Great is 4. That's pretty cheap as. So if you want to do stakes in that. Hello, Hex Token, says Sandy Beach. Hello, hello, hello. And Astro as well in the house. 369, rocking it. Wookie says he's buying up the dip hard. Woo! Hey, we like that, Wookie. We have to give you a bow down for that. That is the true Hexkin Pulsekin there. And of course, I would say, what are you, a Hedronian? Pretty Hedronian Maxi. Ted Nelson in the house as well. Hey, good to see you, Ted. Another Hex Token channel member and lies beneath as well. Hello, how are you today? Very good. Here's the ultimate strategy. Hex, EX, PLS, and PLSX for the win. Absolutely. Obviously, we're waiting patiently for Pulse Chain to launch. And of course, I did do my 5th short form video last night on the Pulse AMM bot, or the PulseX AMM bot, whichever you want to use. And of course, that went out there. That's a short form video. They're pretty much short form videos, somewhere between maybe 3 minutes and 12 minutes or something like that. Probably 3 minutes to 15 minutes, more like it. Just depends on what we're trying to describe there. That last one was just a nice, simple version about the AMM bots. Hopefully that's useful for people that are new to the project. Obviously not for all the pros out there that know everything upside down. But that's kind of the targets there. I did get asked for a lot of those videos. Like another one coming out tonight. And the one coming out tonight is around validators. So stay tuned for that. And then I've got some more coming. Very cool. Very nice. Astro and House there. I put up a what's an NFT for auction. Felt like it would be smarter to let the people decide its value. Nice one, Astro. Let us know how that goes if and when it trades there. There are a lot of what's an NFTs up for grabs there. Brennan Islex says, good morning, Superman and family. Good to see you, Brennan. Another Hex Token channel member and an awesome representative. Hex is the pump the pump blocked, needs a kickstart. Yeah, probably. I've been saying this, Brennan, Dave. Now it's probably going to be at the end of the Maxi period, is my view. We've still got quite a few, still got a bit more selling into the market from large holders than before. So we've got to absorb that a little bit. Although the price is holding up reasonably well at 3.9. Looks like some of the larger holders are trying to avoid it as well. Astro says yield is crazy at the moment, says Astro. We got Kristen in there. When will Pulse launch? I need it. Lol, says Christian. Hey, look, everyone, I know that a lot of people are frustrated. They're waiting for that, but it does look like, I think the earliest time frame is probably, if we're lucky, at Christmas time. It seems to be it to me. Now, obviously, we've got the ETH merge coming up. Some people are speculating after the ETH merge But yeah, I still think we've got a bit more time to go there. I think Richard summed it up in his keynote speech that he's looking at quite a few factors, not just from the technical side of it, but also the market side as well for his launch, and including the highest of stakes. So, I think at the earliest at this stage, if I summed up all of that, it kind of feels like Christmas at the earliest, but otherwise 2023, it's early 23 would probably be the case. Sandy Beach says, I'm thinking either Q4 or Q1 23. Yeah, that's kind of where I'm feeling is it. Well, Sandy, but hey, what do I know? Yeah, well, that's right. So Richard's going to make the call, and he can only make the call subject to market conditions and his devs telling him that everything is done. We do know that it probably seems that the code was done a while back in terms of rewriting in Go language. Maybe they've done some edits to deal with any bugs that they've found and things like that Richard's indicated. But they have been doing 2 teams that have been testing the chain with bots. Now, we do have the testnet up and running, but of course that doesn't have the Go language code rewrite in it. So who knows if we end up getting a short-term public test network on with that code. We'll find out. Pulse Unity says, we are in the house. How is everybody? Good to see Pulse Unity representing there. Maximus for the win. Yeah, absolutely Maximus for the win. Big Kahuna as well. Once launch happens, use the acquired patience to hodl. Dollar cost average on dips and avoid selling for as long as you can. That is great advice, Big Kahuna. That is great advice. And that's when the launch of Pulse Chain happens. So cool. I minted and staked my team today. That's so far. Well done, Sandy. You got there. Sandy was on holiday, of course, and got around to doing that. So it's a nice one, Sandy. What's good, Superman? Academiciate in the house there. Good to see you as well. Yeah, Maximus on Twitter said we're announcing something big tonight about 10 minutes ago. Yeah, fortunately, I did talk about that, so that's good. I'm not sure whether you ran me off that one or not there, Crypto Goggle, because I only just read the note. Tim Top's in the house there. What's up? What's up, Hexicans? Good to see you, Tim Top. Hey, welcome, everybody. Hope you guys are having a good time. Dollar cost average, man. I mean, obviously, some people are waiting for we're going to get that capitulation, possibly in October, November, maybe late September as well. So we're going to reassess the markets as we go into that period. Yeah, it's definitely a pretty attractive looking price at the moment. But some people, may be holding on to the idea, and it may eventuate that, we get the slightly cheaper prices if the BTC does correct down that low. What else can I see? Stormy in the house there. I can dig it. Good to see you, Stormy. Who else is in there? Thomas Turner. Hey, family. Simultaneous streams with Thothschild and some old timers. Nice one there, Thomas Turner. Yeah, there's so many content creators, Thomas Turner. You're going to get plenty of simultaneous streams going on. Hey, Beach Babe. That's Sandy Beach there. That's what happens when you're the girl next door there, Sandy Beach. That's Smoke Student says, what's up, Token? Hey, good to see you, Smoke Studio. Very, very cool. Thanks. The deck has been good. Bought 400 and every day, and my hex goes up. Nice one, Bob. That's really cool. So, like I say, that's speculative, but nice to see it playing out there for you, Bob. Good job, Wookie, says Bob. Yeah. That's on the buying up some more. Who else is in the house here? KD in the house. Good to see KD. We're going to jump through some of these. Who else there? We got Matey in the house there. Hey, Matey, good to see you. Spike as well. Yo, peeps, good to see Spike. It's been a while, Spike. Good to see you in the chat, though. And I think we're almost up to date there. Sandy says, I need to go back to the beach. Yeah, man, that was a really nice spot that you had, isn't it? That place. That looked like something out of one of those movies. Like I said, it reminded me of A Message in a Bottle or something like that. It's probably better than that house, but just because I can't remember the house in that thing. It just reminds me. That's kind of the location, I think, of where it was. But who knows? You just go home from the beach, Sandra says. That's true. You also live at the beach, right? So it's like a different beach, I guess. The way to go. All right, cool. Let's get into it, folks. Let's get into PulsePot. Now, this is the final NFT auction for PulsePot. Now, apparently David Fetter made a comment about this, so that's cool. So he's reviewed it as well. So it's it's gaining a bit more traction amongst the content creators. And obviously Heinz Crypto working with the team there. He covers it. He's in our Discord syndicate. We've got Gen Hex, Craig Wedding, and Heinz Crypto, and of course Hex Token, and your host Superman in house. And of course, this is where we are. Pulse Chain NFT Sacrifice is coming to an end. Now, this is just for Pulse Chain. Now, obviously, these people have to they bid on these auctions, they win these NFTs, they become the house. So they own roulette tables in the house. They basically, but they have to fund it too. So they have to buy it and then fund it. And of course, they can, it can be pretty lucrative once he's running, but they have to wait for Pulsechain. Whereas they are going to be, PulsePot's actually going to be launching their first product on the BNB chain. And I think that's a great idea. They're going to be doing 5 chains, of course. They would do Pulsechain if it had launched already. That was their first indication. But of course, they're having to wait for that too. So BNB, I think it's on the 14th. I'm trying to get confirmation. Somebody said it's going to be on the 1st of October now. So I'm trying to get confirmation of that. But in any case, they're going to be launching their first product. And then they're going, which is PulsePot game. And then they're going to be launching a BNB NFT auction as well for the roulette tables on the BNB chain. So that's coming up later on. That's going to have BNB, BUSD, cake, and all that sort of stuff. At the moment, though, we've got the Pulsechain NFT Sacrifice, and this is kind of a world's first of real innovation in the sense of people being able to own the tables and decentralized. So we had PLS went for 25.7 ETH. We had then had Pulse Hex table go for 22 ETH. Hex go for 14.5 ETH. PLSP went for 17.8 ETH. Hedron went for 16.2 ETH, and then PLSD went for 7.7 ETH. So those are the results. The last one, of course, is the Maxi one. Now, it only had a few hours left. You can see the tables that you're going to be able to own there. And, of course, the last one was in play. So this is the last one here, the Maxi one. And you can see that it seems to have gone to Blue Cloud, who's actually been bidding on these quite a lot, for 5.833 ETH there. So 5.833 ETH. It seems to have gone to Blue Cloud there. We can see the overview. It looks like we had Blue Cloud, My Name is Gladiator in there, and then Blue Cloud ended up winning it there. So Blue Cloud looks like it started off the bid there. So congratulations, that's $10,200. And of course, the Maxi bet there is 1,000 for this Maxi table. Now, obviously we've just covered Maxi. There's going to be a lot less Maxi around to be bidding on these tables. So that's the other issue. So it's probably a good thing. It's got less value on there. Although the Maxi could keep going up there. European style 1.5% fee there, and as well. So that's going to be fun to see that. And that probably makes sense that it had a lower ETH bid on it, to be honest, on the bid there. So that's cool. Congratulations to Blue Cloud on that one. That was the final NFT. So very, very cool on that. Now, they did have, I think, some other things here. David Feder made comment about it. He's apparently looked at it. Said, I'm kind of bullish on PulsePot. So it's kind of cool coming from David. And what else? I think that's kind of at the moment. So we're just waiting. Coming up, I guess the next phase will be, I don't know if they're going to be launching on the 14th, but that's only 2-3 days away. So if they are, they will be. I'm trying to get confirmation. Let me know in the chat if you've heard that. Someone said in the chat the other day that it was the 1st of October. Just haven't been able to confirm that. So hopefully we'll get up to that in due time. Cool. Now, the other thing, of course, if you haven't gotten to our Discord, the link's in the video description. We're heading to 700 people in the Discord. We're at 699. Can you believe it? 699. This is really exciting. And so get in there, folks. A big welcome to our latest members, which is Tesla Coil, Migo Hex, a Drex, and a Palamo there. So a big welcome to you. I think we've said welcome to these other ones. Yeah, Astro was the day before. So a big welcome to all of you. We're one away from 700. Maybe you can be number 700. The link's in the video description. Don't forget also to subscribe to the channel. Hit the subscribe button, hit the like button, hit the bell for future videos. And of course, if you want to join as a member of this channel, hit the join button. We've got Pulse Skins, Hex Skins, and the Richard Hart Club. 3 cool ways of supporting. And of course, you also get a purple name in the Discord if you're a Hex Token channel member as well. And a private chat also. So a private chat there for Hex Token channel members. All right, cool. Let's jump over to the markets again. We're waiting for the Hex Daily stats out. They're going to be out probably in about 10 minutes. So we're going to have to hang out for a little bit longer until then. And at the moment, the Hex is currently at 3.953 cents. Look, pretty juicy point to pick up. Obviously, you're going to get a copy on Pulsechain. So really, it's going for just under 2 cents a Hex. Pretty amazing. And of course, the Maxi at the moment, 2.1 Maxi Premium. Maxi has been amazing going into the team token there. The minting, wow, over 31 million. Absolutely incredible. And I don't think it's going to stop yet. I think there's a long way to go. We've got 2 weeks to go. Who knows how much is going in there. Now, we were talking about teasing around about 20% going in there. And, of course, that looks pretty on track, actually. 20% just seems like a reasonable number. Yeah, we've got 2 weeks to go to hit that target. It'd be incredible if we go past 20%. But yeah, once again, people will be waiting to see what goes into perpetuals. The bigger the perpetuals pool, the bigger the rewards. So obviously, we'd like to hit that 600 million Hex going into those targets there. That'd be a cool start. Now, obviously, I think Maximus was talking about trying to hit let's call it a stretch target of 1 billion Hex there. That'd be cool. And of course, I saw some individuals talking about 1.5 and stuff like that. But I'm pretty happy with 600 million Hex. I think we hit 600 million. That'd be pretty cool. Any upside to that would be nice. But it does seem a bulk of it is going in the Decimus at the moment, which is the 10-year perpetuals. So we'll see how we go with that one. All right, cool. We're going to jump away there. I don't think we've had much from Richard lately. Obviously, the big thing that we had was the keynote speech at PulseCon, which I thought was a pretty good wrap up or roundup of a lot of things. And I thought he'd give it a nice little update about that, so it was pretty cool. Apart from that, yeah, it looks like he's working out some bad symbols there. I think that was about it. We haven't also heard from Rack and Rochelle lately either, and they're working hard probably. There's probably just Rack and Rochelle's probably just working hard, but I was expecting him to do a lot more multimedia stuff. Just seems to have stopped doing that at the moment for the time being, so I'm not sure what's happening there. Sometimes they get busy. They do have other parts of their business like military and other things like that. So when I say military, security, military, something like that. So cool. All right, let's have a look at the Hex stakes coming up. Hex stakes, we're going to have a look at that. So stay tuned for that. Let's have a look at the next end of the year. Have a look at the end of the year here. Let me pull that up. Before we get to that, I'm going to get into some of the chat there. Now, we've got big stakes coming out today. Big stakes coming out today. So let's see what impact that might have. Before we do that, though, let's get into the chat there and see who else has arrived. Jump through there. Come through there. I think we got up to that almost. Media says thanks. You're welcome, Media. Always great to see you in the chat there. You just got home from the beach, Sandra says. Bob Wells, jeepers. Yeah. Sandy loves the beach. Hey, who doesn't love the beach? I love the beach, except when it's far too hot. It can get a bit too much. Thomas Turner says, Superman. Woohoo. Hey, good to see Thomas. Wookie lives on the beach too. Wookie does. I don't know. Do all Australians and Kiwis live on the beach? Almost. It's not too far away. Well, at least I guess if you're in the middle of Australia, it might be quite far. Thomas Turner says, I forgot. Don't forget to hit the like, spread the love. Yeah, smash the like, smash the subscribe button. What are we heading up to at the moment? Let's have a look. I know that on Twitter, heading up towards 1,900 followers on Twitter. It's getting up there. Yeah, 5,757 subscribers at the moment. Heading up to 5,800 is our next target here. I live by a beach here, Sandy Beach. Yeah. I bet it's awesome. Thomas Turner says, are related to Bill Turner in New Zealand. Francis in the house there. Hello. What else there? Bob Wells says, I also live by a beach, a rocky beach, but a beach nonetheless, says Bob. And Smoke Studio says, all G, brother. What else there? Pulse Beta's in the house. Hey, Pulse Beta is late to the party, but here now. Hey, nice to see you, Pulse Beta. And what else have we got happening there? Don't forget to smash the likes. It lies beneath. Pulse Beta says, I hope I haven't missed too much Pulse Hex PLSD news, along with Pulse Zen maybe. Yeah, we covered it all there, Pulse Beta. Pulse Zen there, moving up over 7/10 of a penny there. Pulse Beta, you got to be happy about that. Astrian House and Stressful Struggle, be happy about that too. Astrian House, woohoo! I live in the middle of Australia, central to all beaches. That's miles away. That's miles away. Central Australia is miles away from all beaches. That's like no whole another country. What are you talking about? That's miles. Check your map. It's a desert. It's massive outback. They call it the outback for a reason. It'll take you ages to get to the beach. It'll take you ages. Yeah, I don't even know if you could do it in a reasonable day. Anyway, that's fun. That's fun stuff. Anyway, here's our stakes here. We got a big candle just came out yesterday, remember? So, this came out today. So we'll see what happens with that. It should show up in the whale bot. In fact, let's see the whale bot, see if it's got any action on that one. 6 minutes ago. That was 11 hours ago. So you'll probably see some big stakes coming out over the next hour or two. We may comment on that in the second live stream that we have later on. But in any case, we've got this stake coming out. It's well, when I say stake, there are a group of stakes here. 306 coming out million. Then it's much more modest after that. I know there's candles over 100 million, but much more modest candles. We've got this one here on the 23rd, and then of course we've got the big one here on the 1st of October, 602. I saw some people on Twitter still talking about, well, it's dump. Well, most of these candles are going to keep just restaking, right? Some of them scrape the interest. Some of them are got long OG stakes in there, and so they definitely have an impact on the share rate. So we might see another bump in the share rate there. I'm not sure what the composition of this one is, but generally they just tend to, as we just showed in the Whalebot over the last 24 hours, they tend to just restake there and maybe scrape their interest off. So there we go. But at the moment, this one's the only big candle left until the end of the year. Obviously, some of these other candles may end up jumping on top of each other in the future, but they are slowly breaking up. This is the front of the wave, as it were. Probably the first 90 days there. So just almost to the end of the year now, the first 90 days. So, it's getting pretty crazy. Yeah. And we've got 250 million there. Got a couple of decent candles, 293 million, 284. So we've still got a couple of decent candles there. But this is the last big one there, 602. And then at the end of the year there on the 27th, on the 2nd of January there, we got the 287 start of the year. So definitely, if you add these all up, of course, it's still quite a decent amount. And we just had a decent candle go out. I think it was 400 and something million that just came out today. So we'll see what happens with those over the next few hours. That's kind of where we're at this stage, and very cool. All right, so yeah, that share rate's going to go up, right, with these longer stakes that are been staked back in like 2020, and as they come out, some of them staked out long period of times, they're going to really lift that share rate with their ROI that they get. All right, cool. That is pretty much it. I like how this is set up for Pulsechain. Pulsechain currently it's into the testnet, pulling data from the test network. It's got Hex on ETH is at just under 4 cents, but Hex on Pulsechain testnet is at $2.68. Very nice. That's a sign. It's a sign of things to come. It's a sign of things to come, folks. Yeah. It's also got the T-share cost for a T-share at $62,000, $239. It's a sign of the future as well. Payout per T-share there, $16. At the moment, a payout per T-share is 24 cents, but here it's $16. Very nice. We like that. And so forth. So yeah, hodl your Hex, as it were. But at the moment, you can get Hex on Pulsechain for half the price at the moment. So that's very cool. All right, there we are. That's enough happening there. We're going to check out that Whalebot later in the second live stream. So we're going to be doing cool updates on day 7, which is the first week of Maximus team and perpetuals. Hopefully we'll have the whatever news out is coming out from the Maximus team. Hopefully we'll be able to have that news come out and be able to talk about that when it launches, whatever that's going to be. Big news. So we're looking forward to that. Who knows what it will be. Cool. Let us get into it. We're waiting for a day 114. We've just entered day 115 on Hex. We're 80 days away from 3 years for Hex at 10,095 days. So 80 days away. We're currently into the 14th day there. So pretty cool. Let's wait for the day 1014. It's going to be pretty soon. We'll go through that data and when it comes through. In the meantime, we're going to just stay on the Hex chart there. I'll just quickly check the wildcard here just to talk about PCN since PulsePot has just arrived. Yeah, it's looking good there, PulsePot, with that little breakout. Looks like, I don't know what happened to my chart there. I never did anything to the chart. It's gone all awry. But that's looking good, man. That's looking good on PCN. We'll keep watching that as well. It is on our wildcards. Way to go. All right, cool. Jump back to Hex. But yeah, my favorite one at the moment, I can't stop talking about it, is the team token, because I've actually been super impressed by it. Kind of, like I said, it's front running the perpetuals a little bit, to be honest, but it's doing pretty amazing on the old. Look at that, 31,137,000 Maxi's gone to the team token there. 10. Oh, by the way, it got over 10%, right? So it's now 10.61% of all the Maxis. So, and of course, we were teasing at the beginning about hitting 20% in our polls that we did, before it launched. At the moment, though, it's doing very, very well. And some of the latest stuff there, 15,000 Maxi there. Lots of smaller retail stuff, but 15,000, stuff like that, 10,000, 30,000, stuff like 100,000. That's the last big one there, 100,000. And of course, we're going to compare that to my list there. So it's 100,000 in the last wee while. That was 4 hours ago. Let's see if they've got anything. They put 100,000 in. Let's see if they've got anything more in their wallet around that. So obviously, where they've got some Maximus. So yeah, they've got. So that what they did was a split strategy. This is what I talked about. A lot of people might do this. Is that they could split 3 ways back into Hex, into Maxi, and into Team. And of course, here this one has just gone from 200,000 Maxi to 100,000 Team. So it's done a split strategy, which is a pretty good strategy to do. You get a bit of balance on both worlds there because Maxi's getting more scarce. You still got the ownership in the 15-year token directly. And the Team token there, you're going to benefit from the growth of the Maximus ecosystem. And already it looks like we're going to get a big announcement coming out later from the team, which is going to be cool. Let's have a look at their Maxi and see what they did there. So yeah, they got 200,000 in there, transferred from this wallet. Let's see what this wallet. So this wallet's got even more here. So here we are. We'll link to. So they actually got 536,000. So they're over 500K. They're one of the bigger wallets. And of course, they just put 100,000 in there. So this is a good idea of what some people are doing there, which is pretty cool. And they pulled that in from another wallet, from the looks of it, and that's got 0 Maxi in there now. So it looks like they bought 500,000 10 days ago as well. They also looks like they sold some as well, and then bought it back. So maybe there's a little bit of they got a mint trade in there. So yeah, lots of stuff happening with that. So that's pretty cool. Yeah, we're going to get into those numbers soon. Let's get into the Hex stats at the moment. We've got a little green candle forming here on the old Hex at 3.954 cents. We've got Maxi looking good too, and that's currently at 8.25 cents. But the premium, of course, is what we've been looking at, is at 210. And finally, we've got Hedron there at 3.828, and the RSI definitely cooled off there as well. So we're looking forward to that. Now, obviously, people still minting and staking and all that still going on there. What else we got there? We got a few comments in house there. What else have we got there? Lots of comments in there. Let me just make that a bit bigger. What else there? Jump through some of this. Where we going there? Okay, so DXicans in house. Hey, thoughts on ETH merge dump? Yeah, it's probably what's going to happen. DX buy the rumor, sell the news. Probably will happen. Hey, but sometimes it doesn't. Sometimes it doesn't, but it probably will. It's probably my position there. Bobby well said. That would be awesome, Sandy. Possibly lots of sand and search for water, though, says possibly true that. Hey, Big Kahuna, woohoo! New member, Hex Token channel member. Nice one, Big Kahuna. And bow down to that one, bow down. So big shout out. Let me just check that one because I always don't quite categorize those correctly. So let me jump there. Yep, cool. So welcome, Big Kahuna, to the channel membership. Big shout out for that. Sandy Beck says, thanks, Bob. I think there might be a meetup then too. What else there? Hex Hodl says, I dumped all my Hex. Couldn't hodl it anymore, says Hex Hodl. You're crazy. You're supposed to be a Hex Hodler, man. You're supposed to be a Hex Hodler. I know you're probably joking there. What else there? Morning, Superman. Great stream, champ. Keep pumping this incredible ecosystem that keeps giving love to the community. Let's grow together, champ. Love your space clip on the AMM bot. Great stuff. Hey, nice one, Adam. Appreciate that. Yeah, Big Kahuna with the emojis. Yeah, that's the cool thing. If you become a Hex Token channel member, not only are you supporting the channel as we promote PulseChain, PulseX, and X, and I think pretty dedicatedly and consistently, you get the cool emojis in the chat there. Hey, Big Kahuna, don't forget to let us know in the Discord too, whether if you've got a different name, let us know in there. because you'll get upgraded to the purple name and, of course, the private chat there for channel members as well. So don't forget to do that. All right, cool. Let's jump out. That is Hedron at the moment, 3828. Let us know in the chat if you're actually accumulating any more Hedron at the moment with the little dip there. Maxi team and Decimus says Hexodal. It is pretty cool. Never bought a single Hedron, says Hexodal. Only sell Hedron, says Hexodal. What else there? Sandy Beach says, I thought you dumped your Hex from McDonald's, says Sandy Beach. That's a pretty wise question there. Weight pump to penny. Yeah, I know, it was awesome, Hexodal. I talked about that earlier. It was great. Haven't had McDonald's in a couple of days now. What else there? I have $1,000 worth of free weight now. That's nice, Hexodal. Well done, man. You're slipping. Yeah, you're definitely slipping there. Well, unclaimed yet. Yeah. Most people are just waiting, that's for sure. What else there? Baguna says, thanks to you all and to Superman for the amazing content and good vibes. Hey, Baguna, you're welcome, man. It's great to have you in the community. Yeah, we have got a fun, growing community. What else there? We're going to jump through some of this. Excellent news, bro, says Pulse Beta. What else there? Jump through some of that. Go through there. Yeah, family show. Yeah, don't forget this is a family channel and a no drama channel. We try to keep it consistent like that. So you know, any of the adult stuff there, whether it's soft stuff or not, let's leave it off. Imagine PLS at $10, PLS X at $12, X and $9 in the first 24 months, 26 months. Who's holding in? I think there will be lots of millionaires in the Pulse chain. Rocket shit, let's go, Superman, says Dan. Yeah, I think let's think more like 1 cent. Let's think more like 1 cent there, Dan. I think that's probably the kind of the range that will still make. As I said, Pulse X at 1 cent. If no one sold, there'd be 11,500 millionaires. So it's kind of where we are at that stage. Wondering if Mystery Box might reimburse in-state fees for the perpetuals. No expectations, says Big Una. Yeah, nice thought there, Big Una. Definitely they're going to have 50% of the Maxi and 100% of the team tokens. So and of course under the staking, when you stake team token, it does say you may get some mysterious airdrops or so forth. So yeah, it could be pretty cool. I'm waiting, says Sandy Beach, for the waiting token. Yes, that's a probably good move. All right, cool. There we are at the moment. Let's get back into the charts there. We're waiting for the Hex daily stats to come out. I think we may almost be there. Not quite. Day 13. We're waiting for day 1014. Can you believe we have to use the 1000s now? That's so good, though, isn't it? We waited so long to hit 1000, and now we're at 1014. I think it was a dip catcher and Golki were mentioning on their channel the other day. They go, what day is it? What day is it on Hex Day? And then they realize what day, and he goes, wow, over 1,000 days. Man, that's cool. You know, because it is really groovy to think that we're so high up in the days now, and like once we get to 4 years, you know, all those people that try to criticize, or the remaining ones that are left, will get, you know, a big awakening when we go, well, we're in our 4th year, for goodness sake, we're growing constantly. So what, you know, cool off with your false criticisms now. John says, hey Superman, how's the exercise regime going? Yeah, I've got to walk on today, John. I've got a lot more work to do. So yeah, walk on today. What else there? Sandy Beach in the house there. Gway is at 10. It was 4 before, but it's now at 10. So cool. Welcome everybody. Don't forget to subscribe, hit that like button, hit the bell, share the channel around too if you can on the different platforms. That'd be really helpful. And yeah, we're in the bear market at the moment, and of course we're waiting for Pulse Chain. So this is probably the quietest time in our community, and we're still growing. Can you believe it? Still growing. So that's really important. And I would just keep spreading the word around Pulse Chain and Hex and everything like that. It is a great entry point to get into. Obviously, dollar cost average, because if we do get another dip in September, October, November, which kind of when a lot of people are thinking we might do, then, you know, it's a good place that people continue to dollar cost average and, you know, get that lower average pricing. But we have, you know, when we got back to 2.8 cents on Hex, we had, you know, 94.5% pullback. So that's a significant one. It doesn't mean it can't go down a bit further if the markets decide to have that full correction that many are expecting, including Richard Hart himself. We also got, obviously, with around the Bitcoin, got a number of holders that, particularly Richard's waiting to see, you know, sell off. So we'll have a look at that. Now, might play. I was not going to play Richard Hart's. What is it going to say? Richard Hart's keynote speak, but I might actually play that again at the end because I think he wrapped things up pretty well in that keynote speech. I thought it was a good indication of a lot of his thinking. Obviously, he's not going to be showing his whole playbook. It wouldn't be too wise either. As a founder, you got to gamify the launch of Pulsechain. You got to outwit the people that might try to impact particularly the liquidity pools and anything like that. So we're looking forward to that when he does launch it, and who knows what other surprises he might have in play. I'm particularly interested in see what will happen with the 660 million stable coins. Obviously, some of that's already moved, but it'll be pretty interesting to see what happens to that portfolio in respect. Obviously, no expectations. I'm still expecting to not have expectations about expecting something to happen there with liquidity pools and things. So we'll see how that plays out. All right, cool. You never know. You're allowed to speculate, right? You're allowed to speculate. That's the way you go. All right, cool. That's where we are at the moment. The charts there. Oh, Hedron just moved down to 3753. 3753 there. Hex at 3954. 2.1 on the Maxi Premium and $1.20 on the ACOSA. Let's see where we go to. We've actually had some of the alternative ones here that we've been following actually having a pretty good day in the office, like Pulse Dodge there is up 11.6% on 24 hours. P33 is up 10%, after particularly underperforming. And of course, we're up 9.5% on IM. Now that's just reversed, by the way. Of course, before that was down, right? When we reviewed this earlier, that was actually down on IM Internet Money. That is actually reversed there. So nice to see that. So actually not too bad day in the BNB chain. Pulse Dodge coin waiting for the dual token system, whatever that's going to be. I think it's going to be a bit different to what we're used to. And that's currently at $3.12. Weight token. Woo-hoo-hoo-hoo! Sandy Beach. Sandy Beach is claiming the weight token. Hodl Dog is claiming it's at 1 cent. It's at 1 cent claiming there. I don't even know what this is. What is this? Is this claiming your airdrop? That's crazy stuff there, but that's at 1 cent at the moment, and that's powered up there as well. Some people moving on that one. Now we're gonna have to go check the supply now because this is moving. We're gonna have to go check the supply and see what that is at the moment. Why not? We haven't got that much. We've only got in this particular pool, we've got 1 million weight tokens in that pool. 79 million weight token has been minted. 79 million has been minted. That's not too much. And where are we at? Day 12. So 67. Let's do 68 days. Let's do 68 days times 4.5 million. That's probably another 300 million. So on top of 880. So 880 million. So what happened there? 8 million plus the 300 million. That's not terrible. 880 million. I keep botching up there. Additional 300 million. We're probably sitting at about 1.2 billion accrued, and only 79 have been minted. So 79 divided by 1.2. So I botched that up again. Oh my gosh. Get them out. No, I'm just kidding. All right, 79 divided by 1.2, and that's crap. I completely botched that up. 79 divided by 1200. Let's do it easier that way. That's easier. And I just put too many zeros on. This is the worst calculating addition I've ever done in my life. 6.5%. We're at about 6.5% of accrued total supply. Obviously, most people have not minted there, so about 6.5% there. 79 million weight. So there's not a lot of weight around. Let's look at the holders. We got some beastie holders here, almost 10% in this one, 7.2 in this one. The actual liquidity pool USDC weight, there's got 5 million. It's got 6.2% of the pool in there. Uniswap V3 there, it's got 1 million. This is the one that we're looking at the moment. So it's got that much in there. So yeah, those are the kind of big holders there at the moment. V3 there's got 192,000. So yeah, got the front page there, 150,000 weight tokens. Not too bad. How many holders? 22,205. So that's it's pretty. That's a lot. What the heck? That's crazy. That's a lot there actually. 79 million. 1, 2, 3. Divided by one. I've got another zero there. Divided by Oh no, not 22,000, 3,200. That makes more sense. Sorry about that. 3,203. It's 24,660 each at the average holder, 24,000. So that's an interesting number. All right, let's get on to it. We still haven't got day 1,014 off on the press there, but that was a nice little review of the Maxi there. Up basically at 1 cent. Woohoo! Rock on. The wildcards, of course, are doing pretty well as well. So we've got 0.7 of a cent there on PZN, looking like it's going to potentially break out. And of course, I did Dicker there back up to 51 cents, which is not too bad. And more token there at $1.30. So yeah, all the alternative cards, not all of them, but a lot of the alternative ones are doing pretty well. Hex ecosystem just chilling at the moment, just chilling. And of course, it's a good entry at the moment. So cool. We're going to wait for the Hex Daily Stats though. We're still 30 minutes into the day. We still haven't got the Hex Daily Stats out, but that's just the way it goes. All right, cool. Let's get into some more comments. Let's have a look at some of this. I've got some more comments in there. Terry Doc's in the house. AC Man and family from Scotland. A big shout out to you in Scotland there, Terry Doc. Now, I do want to go to Scotland, man. It just seems like just a wild, romantic place with deep in history as well. So I definitely want to go to Scotland sometime. I'm sure I've got some heritage in there as well. I started my workout routine again. Sit-ups, air squats, and push-ups every day. Nice one, Sandy Beach. Sit-ups, air squats, and a push-up every day. Those are very good all-round exercises, that's for sure. Great job, Sandy. Thanks, plus walking too. Nice one, Sandy. That is very important, putting the walking in there with that. Okay, I agree on prices. Maybe 2 years or 3 years, champ, to be realistic as adoption grows, hopefully. What do you think, Superman? 1 cent, 50 cents, first time, 24 months. Hey, look, to be honest, 10 cents, 20 cents, kind of where I'm sitting at this stage on the upside. It's relative to the market cap, so I'm excluding the origin sacrifice accounts out of all that sort of stuff. So yeah, we'll see, but definitely getting up to that 1 10-cent range seems reasonable to me. That's a big return at this stage. Marvelous program yet again, says Superman. Hey, thanks, Pulse Beta. What else there? We got jump through some of that. Don't do math on the stream, says Sandy Beach. Yeah, no, it's just because I was botching up the calculator. It's really easy to do on, those little calculators on the computer thing. That they're a bit funny. What else there? Scotland is unreal, says Pulsar Beta. Yeah, it looks like it would be amazing. That's for sure. Definitely a place I'd like to go to. But definitely be one of my top spots to go to. All right, it's cool. Let's get into it. Hopefully we've got day 114. Man, it's taking ages to come out, isn't it? Day 1015 is 33 minutes into the day. We still haven't got day 1014. Just how we roll on this channel. We're patient, but we'll get there in the end. Hexodal says derivatives and integrals easy, says Hexodal. All right. Let's see what else we got going there. We've got YouTube shows here. And we'll put that in there. What have we got there? PulsePot. We're going to put PulsePot on that one. We got the price chats there. Price chats have been a bit quiet today. Not sure what Pulse God's been up to, but Binance says it may review its decision to implement Terra Luna Classic, burning on trading. Guess that was a pretty decent. Yeah, well, Luna Classic was doing pretty well, wasn't it? Up hundreds of percents there. That's pretty nice. Non-crypto chat. Yeah, this is funny. Wookie goes, I find it funny, amusing that CM, was it Munster, is it, has solved envy by having more money than God, says Wookie. Yeah, it's kind of funny, that whole thing. I'm not sure if he hit himself back there. But yeah, I've never been a big fan of his particularly. So yeah, all right, cool. Let's get back up here, see if it's come out there. No, it's still not out yet. That's crazy stuff. What else? I think that's pretty much it. We pause for the moment as we wait for the Hex Day stats to come out. The cool thing about Hex, of course, is, if you remember one thing, is T-shares. T-shares is what you're after. And of course, that means you pay yourself, your future self, as Matty Allen would say, your deferred gratification, and it will come your way. And of course, you get penalties as well, which is pretty. The penalties have been really excellent. I mean, look at this, over 1 million penalties every day. It's pretty nice. I think 2025, 26 is going to be a bonanza for penalties, by the way, particularly depending on what the hex price is at the time. I think we could end up having quite the bonanza because in 2030, we've got all those 10-year stakes coming out. And you know, how many of them will emergency in stake? Obviously, by that time, though, there's a little countenance to that. And that is, by that time, people with those T-shares understand the power of T-shares very well. So less of them may be inclined to penalize. But once again, it depends on how big the carrot is. So that's important to know. If we go down to these hex stakes again, if the carrot is big enough, in other words, the hex price is big enough. Remember, they're going to be on 2 chains as well, Pulsechain and Hex there as well. So cool. Some of the people obviously talking about the superiority of staking your Hex with the staking pools and perpetuals is really obviously superior in terms of the ETH gas fees. But that being said, though, of course, with the Ethereum upgrade, eventually they'll get around to, they're already testing roll-ups and stuff like that. But as soon, whenever they do that in the next couple of years, depending on how long your stakes are out, then hopefully they'll get to the point where the pipe that's got the transactions, on there with the speed and the cost will actually be upgraded so that they can keep those low. Obviously, hopefully, you don't know what they're going to do around the S-load function, but if they can make that pipe bigger, more transactions, cheaper transactions, and of course being able to absorb the next boom, as it were, the next high congestion, then they may be not too much higher. But once again, even at today's price, you're still looking, I think it was like $1,000 for a 5555 day stake to end stake. So it doesn't matter how big your Hex that you've got staked is as well. So if you're a particularly small player, then the team perpetuals definitely make a lot of sense from an ETH gas point of view. But once again, if you are a small player, you've got stakes out that far, you may be okay on the ETH chain, depending on how successful they are in terms of heading towards 100,000 transactions per second, which is kind of the end goal. Vitalik did talk about having a 7-year plan. So if you're possibly out by the end of that period, it may, the upgrades may be in case, maybe it may enable the gas fees not to get too high for the end stakes. In any case, you will have your copy on Pulsechain, and of course that's expected to remain cheap for a long period of time. That being said, of course, they're doing the upgrades. We may see a much better performance, transfer per second performance through Pulsechain, and maybe that'd be a nice surprise from the team. The other thing, of course, is that if it does get congested in the future, they can always fork the chain themselves. So, it's going to be a lot of interesting stuff going on in the years ahead there. Right, let's get it. There we are, day 1014, hot off the press. We did it, folks. We did it. Let's go here. So day 114, the 11th of September, 2022. We're at 3.942 cents was a snapshot, pretty similar to yesterday. The prices have mostly been in the similar range, around that 4 cents plus or minus. And of course, we're down slightly at 0.6%. The Hex payout per T-share 6.17. The T-share price $950. The T-share rate is at 24,109, up 745. I'm not clapping for those people getting in, because obviously the earlier you get in, the better. We talk about longer pays better and bigger pays better, but earlier pays better too, right? Because you got to getting in there early before that. Like, that's a significant difference from the day before. Now, obviously, you can still, even with that rise there, because the Hex price going down a little bit there, you actually get the cost in there not too much higher, which is pretty neat. The other thing, of course, if you do a 10-year stake, you'll get it for a third of this price, because you get 20%, 200% bonus shares when you stake your Hex. So cool. Hex, like Okosa, it gets burned when you stake, compared to Hedron, which doesn't. So that's pretty important there. In return, you get shares in the system there. So, or in Okosa, it's points, isn't it? So cool. The average stake length, 6.57 years. The annual percentage yield rate, yield and early emergency in-stake penalties, yield being inflation in the Hex ecosystem, is a 37.68%. And the liquidity in the pool, a whopping 378 million Hex. But that's really nothing if we get enough buying power, right? They can eat that up pretty quickly. It does seem like a lot at the moment. It's definitely higher than what we've had for quite a while. We also saw 50 million come in yesterday from that big stake that made the share rate go up, that OG stake there. And of course, they put 50 million of that into liquidity pool. Presumably that's still there. A liquidity pool there, $10.9 million US, pretty similar to yesterday, slightly higher than yesterday, and 1,080 ETH there. Let's jump over to the T shares, obviously down 24,000 from yesterday, sitting at 10.4 million. Now, Hex, as I always say, is easy to understand. From a simple point of view, you have the reward pool every day. It has inflation and penalties in it. And you have the ownership pool, which has T shares. And of course, that means trillions of shares. And so if one of those goes up and down, then the Hex payout per T share goes differently. So that's your reward, the Hex payout per T share, which is why we talk about it so much at the beginning there. And of course, today it was 6.17 Hex per T share. The main game for Hex, of course, over the long play, and for playing the long game, is to get the T shares and get that money printer just printing over it. So it's like Bitcoin, but with a proof of work change where you actually get the inflation and not the miners who have to dump it on your heads because they've got to buy equipment and pay for electricity and things like that. It's only optional whether you decide to sell it, for example, depending on what you're doing with it, right? Whether you need it to pay, to buy a loaf of bread or not. That's that question. All right, so cool. Second lane supply was up 170 million, and then it changed down to 12 million. What else did we have going on there? The stake percentage of coins, 9.68% of all Hex is staked. The vast majority of Hex are owned by their origin accounts and daughters and things like that. And of course, Sacrifice wallet. And so that's where we are at the moment. The Hex today, pretty low, 398,000 penalties. So people doing a good job with their staking responsibilities today, relatively speaking. And of course, there we are. All right, let's look at the growth of numbers. Hex is continuing to grow like a boss there. Stakes up 114 to 108,586. Probably is pretty important for some of the, and I think we've probably seen it in the price there, some of the old larger accounts or OG accounts, to end less of their stakes, get more of their stakes increasing to lower the circulating supply. We'll probably encourage people to do that. 114 stakers is up at the moment, so it's really good. 108,586. The wallet's up 66 to 310,680. And finally, we're heading up closer to our 500,000 total holders goal. The 294 is increased there, so not too far away from that one. And we're currently in day 1,015 and only 80 days away from 3 years. And then we get into our 4th year, which is going to be pretty exciting. And that's a real sign of maturity, right? If Hex was a child in the Spartan army, he would only be about 3 years away from going out into the wilderness and becoming a man or something like that. I don't know. Is that how it worked? I think so. Something like that. All right, cool. Go Spartans. Go Sparta. Sparta! I think that's a good place to wrap up. Don't you guys think? I think so. All right, so let's get out of it. Let us go back to the charts here. We've got Hex at 3.95 cents. We've got Maximus at 8.2 cents. I'll be doing the update in the second live stream later today, which will be the first week of Maximus team and perpetuals. And we'll have the final results of those and any news from the team. They've got a big announcement coming up. Hopefully we'll catch to that by the second live stream and so forth. So yeah, looking good on that one. This is the premium at the moment on Maxi. It is currently at 2.10, and we've got 31 million Maxi in the team wallet. Amazing. And of course, the scarcity coming into the play. Hedron at come over at 375, 3,750, and Icosa at $1.17. That's where we're going to wrap it up, folks. Catch me in 5 hours' time. Don't forget, subscribe, like, share, hit the bell, and all that good stuff. A special welcome to Big Kahuna as the latest Hex Token channel member. Really do appreciate the support, and I will catch you guys soon. Let us go away. Yeah, we've got a couple more comments. Brizoli's in the house there. Hey, Briz, good to see you. I can't believe it's been 2 weeks since a day 1,000. I know it's flying through, man. It's flying through. Actually, we've got a couple more people in there. That's pretty cool. We've got John Gibson. I proposed to my wife in Galloway Forest Park in Scotland. Amazing place to view the night sky. No light pollution at all. Oh, that sounds beautiful, John. That really does sound lovely. Doc says, when's the good time to come to Scotland? And I'll show you around. When the good times come. Yeah, we'll do Terry Docs. Sounds awesome. I made 3 more Hex HSI stakes yesterday to fill in some holes. Well done there, firefighter. Firefighter, I should say. That's very cool. We've got to do the bow down for that one to finish the show. What else there? I think we're almost up to that. Briz is in the house there. Good luck, Hex Hodl, to you. Absolutely. Looking for those Bitcoin addresses. Dump them from Hex, says Sandy Beach, not financial advice. What else there? I think we're out. Cheers, Suitman, says Terry Doc. Weight just jumped over 1 cent, did it? Let's have a quick look at that before we leave. We're about to wrap up, but airdrop, sorry. Let me go to airdrops. Oh, it is too. Weight just pumped over 1 cent. Where's it going to go to? That is on a roll. Here we are. That's the chart. There's no auto function on these little summary charts that I'm using. But there we are. That's looking good. Let's screen that up there. And see how you can scale things to make them look really amazing. Thank you, Hex Token. A great stream as always. Hey, Sandy Beach, you're welcome. Brazaji says Vegas was pretty cool, Sandy. Hope to see you out there next time. And what else there? Weight. There's the weight contract there from Hex Hodl. Well done there. Cheers, everybody. Stay cool, says Bob. What else there? We're going there. I think that's it. We're going to wrap up there. I hope you guys enjoyed yourself. And I'll catch you in 5 hours' time for week 3. Week 1 result. No, week 1 result of Maximus team and Petrels. I'm going to play out for those that missed it, I'm going to do a bonus play. That's what we call it now. Bonus play of Richard Hart's keynote speak. And he does drop a few little alphas in there, I think. Yeah, I hope you guys enjoy it. And we've just got to find it first, though. Here we go. All right. Enjoy. Peace out, everybody. Catch you next time. Bye for now. Woohoo! Rock on.
What's up, guys? How's it going? Pulse chain shirt on. Pulse chain ring. So, am I just talking or what? Am I live? I guess I'm just live. Hey, everybody. I hope the weather's nice and cool out there. I hear it's like 106 Fahrenheit and hot. I have been talking to devs a lot recently, and I guess the next thing you're going to see released on Pulse X is going to be the limit orders. Works fine in the private testnet. They're just going to push it to the main branch, and like we'll be able to test that soon. And the big thing that we're waiting on is consensus improvements. So because my devs are geniuses, they find bugs other people don't know about. So they know about bugs in BSC that nobody else knows about. They know about bugs in the click consensus mechanism, which Pirelli is based on, that nobody knows about. And so, you know, before we launch mainnet, we want everything to be right. And right now we have a pretty cool opportunity because the Ethereum guys finally got to market with something, or are close to getting to market with something, which is their Ethereum 2.0, which will now, once it happens, just be called Ethereum. They won't be called Ethereum 2. And it doesn't release new coins. You're not going to get a copy of your coins on Ethereum 2. It doesn't improve costs. There's no extra throughput. There's no extra gas limit. There's no extra throughput per second. All it does is reduce issuance rate for Ethereum, which is bullish for all of crypto. You know, Ethereum's got half the market cap of Bitcoin. And if you don't have Ethereum miners dumping the price constantly and enriching power companies and hardware manufacturers at the cost of the environment and the price chart, well, that's great. And that's great for all of crypto. And it's also great for Pulse Chain. In my mind, the two most important core concepts for Pulse Chain are the Ethereum fees still high? Yes, they are. You know, I was looking earlier today, it's still $3 to send normal Ethereum. It's still, you know, 10 or 12 bucks to do a Uniswap transfer, et cetera. And that's during a bear market where, you know, Ethereum already dropped 85%. Bear markets tend to come to an end. So the last bear market only lasted 365 days. This one is going to last a little bit longer because people decided to destroy their balance sheets and buy a second. They didn't want to do the normal blow off top bubble chart. They wanted to do an extra double bubble. And this double bubble, well, it it didn't work. Ethereum's capital liquidated, block, Celsius bankrupt, Michael Saylor net negative, El Salvador net negative, everybody, all those guys losing money left and right. All the people that listen to me, well, they seem to have done much better. Called top of the day. Might have heard that before. So basically, with this merge that's coming up, assuming it goes well, which I hope that it does, they've got a lot of audits. They've done a lot of testing on it. Hope it goes well. It doesn't do anything but help Pulse Chain. Fees are still high. Gas limits are still low. No one's building out extra capacity for Ethereum. No one's trying to reduce the Ethereum fees except us. And I guess maybe the ETH2 developers that someday in the future will eventually get around to sharding, which has been a dream of theirs for like as long as Ethereum's existed. I don't know, 6 years. And it's great. So it also helps with our consensus stuff, because a lot of stuff the guys did in ETH2 for consensus is useful for us and Pulse Chain. And that's the only thing we're really waiting on. So, if you use the test net, which I consider to be the best game on the blockchain, hey, you like blockchain games? Guess what, guys? You get copies of all your coins in the pulsechain.com test net. Go try them out right now. You can trade them back and forth. You can do, it's the same code. So you can do a lot of the same things. And everything else has been really good. Like PulseX, done tons of trades, tons of people doing buy and burns. I've heard nothing but good things about the testnet. So we're basically, because things have taken as long as they have, we're more secure. We're able to improve other projects if we want. Not sure we will. It's just funny. So in my mind, the two things people care about the most in Pulse Chain are more coins, more throughput, lower fees. That's the primary value statement. And ETH 2.0 with this merge doesn't give you new coins, doesn't give you lower fees, doesn't give you higher throughput. And so our value proposition is totally clean. I like it. Everything's good. And then the less negative sell pressure on crypto as a whole from removing the miners having to get paid all the time is good for everything. Now, am I bullish on crypto? Not yet. Now remember, Hex ran up 60x versus Bitcoin the first time it dumped from 65K down 55%. So Hex can totally decorrelate from Bitcoin. I think it was kind of bad timing that it looks correlated now, because we had our own cycles, right? There were sacrifice phases. There was other things going on in our own cycles. And so I wouldn't be surprised if some point Hex started doing the same things it used to do, which is just overperforming like crazy. We'll see. I don't have a crystal ball. This is not financial advice. I'm not a financial advisor. Do your own research, etc. But even recently, when you saw Bitcoin like break under 20K, which people are really hoping for, they don't like seeing Bitcoin under 20K. And then if you're a technical analyst, there's some things that say like support becomes resistance. And so, what used to be resistance is support in theory, old 20K top, now 20K quote bottom, but actually didn't hold a 20K bottom at all. Didn't respect that at all. Went down to 17.5, is now sitting at it was interesting. I saw the euro and Bitcoin and the S&P 500 all pumped today. I was like, oh, I wonder if they're correlated. So yeah, I think as long as Grayscale Bitcoin's at a 33% discount, which it is, and they hold 1% of all Bitcoin, and the Ethereum merge might be a buy the rumor, sell the news event. I mean, we see lending people that are borrowing Ethereum for the merge, they're paying like 15% APY to do it. And so, there's some people interested in playing this merge game. And I think traditionally in crypto, buy the rumor, sell the new stuff is pretty common, And so with the risk that Bitcoin dumps due to either just not doing its 85% dump yet, which would put it at, a little bit under 11K, and the 33% discount on Grayscale BTC, which has been consistent. I mean, it's been there for months. And the Mt. Gox coins being released at some point. Those guys suck so bad. Just give us a date, guys. Just give us a date. Let's go. Stop screwing around, The comedy, that whole thing. And then we've got the Bitfinex coins they're trying to sell, which I think is like 94,000 coins or 84,000 coins or something. And then we've got Ross Ulbricht's coins, which I think is like 70,000 coins, somewhere between 54 and 74,000. Can't remember the exact number. I tweeted all these, so you can look these up. So we've got discounted grayscale Bitcoin, which is 1% of all Bitcoin. We've got Mt. Gox, Bitfinex, and the federal marshals probably selling Ross Ulbricht's coins because he signed off to let them do it to pay his restitution. And then normal cycle dump, right? And then maybe buy the rumor, sell the news for merge. So in my mind, it's the dream bottom would be the grayscale discount goes away. Some of those free coins that are going to get released by law, like the Japanese ones at Mt. Gox, or going to get dumped as a matter of law, which would be the Ulbricht ones of Silk Road fame. And then it's up in the air whether the Bitfinex ones will really get sold or not. You know, they might get refunded or they might get sold. Who knows? And I think there was 94,000 coins there. You could look it up. So the dream would be those coins get dumped. Bitcoin's deficit to net asset value and grayscale disappears. And then it does its traditional 11K and pray 85% dump. That's been a nice bottom. And then if they raised interest rates, oh boy, that'd be nice too. Because as long as they keep doing quantitative tightening, QT, it pushes down the stock market pushes down Bitcoin pushes down Ethereum. That's how it goes. And then I like this next cycle is going to be hilarious because with Pulse Chain, you know, like look at the situation Bitcoin's in. Is there DeFi in Bitcoin? Comedically, no. Is there high throughput? Is there low fees? Is there a roadmap? Nope. Is there good anonymity? Nope. Now I was just talking to a lawyer today about the Tornado Cash situation. And this, I'm not a lawyer. This is not legal advice, but he says that, you know, the sanction just addressed USDC, which means it could be the case that you can still use Tornado Cash using the ETH address. And as long as you're using IPFS to access the contract, you know, it seems like it should be okay. But if you mess this up, it's devastating. Don't mess it up. Be very careful. Get your own legal advice. You know, of the many things in this world that you want to toy with, sanctions are not one of them. The government takes them very, very seriously. So I would get legal advice from a lawyer before I did anything related to sanctions. So yeah, bear markets don't last forever, right? So if our top was, let's check the chart here, check the chat. So if we call the most recent local top, get on the daily here, in Bitcoin, if we call that November of 2021, and a year out would be, that's November 11th of November 10th of 2021. You know, that's 2 months from now. So if the bear market's only going to last 365 days, that's only 2 months and 4 days from now. Could happen, right? We could dump, make that firm bottom. And everyone else is thinking about this bear market. I'm thinking about the next bull market. As soon as we've got this consensus figured out, and I think we've got a good plan, as soon as this consensus is like executed and fixed on Pulse Chain, it's going to be glorious. Imagine imagine all these new people that get to buy a massive dip. So when I got into crypto, I didn't get to buy a massive dip. I got to buy the top. So I bought Bitcoin at 30 and went down to 2. I was down 93.5% to start. It was like, oh, well, this sucks. Then you just hold. Then it goes up to 1,200, and then it goes down to 200, and then it goes up to 20,000, then it goes down to 3, and then it goes up to 14, then it goes to 4, and then it goes to 69, and then it goes to 17. That's the history. So being able to have so many people, like perhaps the people at this conference, buying at rates that are, 10 times cheaper, like for instance, Hex dipped 95%. Well, golly, that's a good dip. I mean, you could get, if you buy 95% dip, you're getting 20 times the stuff for the same economic energy that a person that had bought previously did. So in theory, that greatly reduces your risk because you're getting so much more stuff. I don't know why in crypto everyone loves to buy tops and sell bottoms, but if you have the opportunity to buy bottoms, like some people bought the big payday dip, well, that was glorious. They did very well on that. Some people bought that $2 dip. I didn't. I just held. But had I been a lot smarter, buying a 90% dip on something that went up another 20,000 fold, yeah, actually went up another 34,500 fold from $2. So it's a lot. It's a lot of extra movement. 34,500x from the bottom of the dip. That was my introduction to Bitcoin. What else do we got going? Some of you guys may notice there was a US credit card on-ramp available for Hex, which would be buytohex.com. What else? Yeah, really, we're kind of waiting for consensus. That's the majority of what we care about right now. And we also, the documentary's done. So the highest of stakes documentary is complete, and they're just slapping the soundtrack on there now. So it's I hear a 40-piece orchestra. I'm not an expert in orchestras. I'm not, I don't listen to too much orchestral music. I guess we all do if we watch movies, because it's very common in movies. And apparently everyone that's seen it likes it. So I think it's going to be awesome when that comes out. So let's see what next year might look like. Pulse Chain, Pulse X, Hex on the Ethereum network, Hex on the Pulse network, documentary out, incentive token out. Tell us more about the incentive token. I don't know. People probably provide liquidity to it, and that'll be its claim to fame. What's Dogecoin's claim to fame? As a JPEG. This still seems to be a mechanic that works in crypto. What else? Racking my head here. Oh, yeah, the wallet's coming along. Mr. Wallet developer is still building out the wallet, so that's coming along. Anything else? I think that's all I can think about.
Yeah.